Hey, hey, hey. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Let's Unpack That. We back. We missed y'all last week, but we here this week. So you know who I am. I would be the one and only Lala. What's good?
You're not the only one, Lala. Melo's ex-wife's name is Lala. There's more than one of you.
I'm older than her, but go ahead.
Shamik, peace, peace, peace.
So I hope everyone is, had a great day and y'all ready to have this fruitful conversation as we unpack the mindsets of men, women, and see we can understand that we can agree to disagree, right? But today it's gonna be real versus fake, right? So I just want to put the disclaimer out there. I was not the one that picked this topic. It would be that of Mr. Shah himself.
I didn't pick this.
Yes, you did.
It was on Twitter.
It was on Twitter. So basically, we watched the conversation that was held by T.I., right? And when T.I. had the conversation, he basically was talking about women in Atlanta. How he don't, women in Atlanta, you got to pay for everything. A man is expected to pay for everything. So today our topic is, why do some women feel like a man should pay for everything, even their time and conversation, right? So I want to say, right, is it standard or entitlement, right? Is it traditional or is social media influence, right? And at what point does dating start to feel like a transaction? Let's talk about it. Don't shake your head. Let's talk about it.
It do feel like that.
It feels like what?
I think women feel entitled. I think they feel like men should just pay for everything. A lot of them. And let me say this too, because I know somebody's in there like, not all women. I pay for it. No, I'm talking about 51% of the time. Women feel entitled. I don't know. I honestly don't know where they get it from. Because first of all, if you had a man to pay for everything, where is he at now? That's the first thing. What happened? You should have kept him. So where are you getting this from? If you're getting it from your grandparents, times have changed.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think that a lot of times, most women, right, that have certain views when it comes to a man being a provider, a protector, and taking care of his family, a lot of that has to do with tradition, right? And some of it is from the Bible, right? So when I think that there's levels to when we talk about the expectation of women that believe that men should do everything, right? I grew up in a household where a man was a protector, provider, right? My mom stayed home. My dad went to work. He paid all the bills, and she took care of the household. And a lot of that is traditional, right? In marriage, right? So in marriage, in marriage, the expectation is that the man takes care of his family, right? And if a man don't take care of family, he don't eat, right?
First of
So,
all,
so
first of all, you're bringing up the Bible.
yeah, because hold on, let me land. Let me land.
Bamboozled Adam. Let's start with Genesis with the
Let
Bible.
Let me land.
Yeah,
Because
go ahead.
what I'm saying is that the question is, why do some women feel that men should do everything or pay for everything, including their time? What I'm saying is that generational, right? Different generations have different expectations, right? And different people have different mindsets, right? Some people expect a man to pay for everything because that's how they were raised. That is what they saw their father do, right? That was an action that was a learned behavior. If it was a behavior that was shared or a child saw growing up, then that's a behavior that I'm gonna have the expectation of, right? But we also got to talk about time frames, right? There are the time frames are different. The amount of thing, how much things cost is different. Salary is different. Men and women have equal salaries. It's a lot when you talk about expectations, right? Some women feel like you should pay for their time, right? Do I think that I've seen situations with extreme? I've seen people act extreme with it, like you got to pay for my babysitter. You got to take me to the highest priced restaurant in the block on the block. I mean, I've seen that. So I mean, that's some people have that mentality. But again, why don't you think that what happened to court, a man, doing things for a woman and making sure, it's, when a man asks a woman on a date, why can't he pay for it? Why isn't that not something that should be a norm? Because it's been the norm for generations. So why is it a problem now? So why is that when someone says, when we go out, you have to pay for my meal, right? You have to pay for, some women say you got to pay for their babysitter, right?
Yeah, they're crazy.
But why is it not a thing anymore? Why are we moving away from men taking a woman out, asking a woman out on a date, taking her out, and paying for everything? Why is that becoming a problem? That's what I want to know.
I don't think it's becoming a problem. So let me address one thing first. When you grew up, how many friends would you say you had? 10, 20, 30?
How many friends I had?
Females, yeah.
Well, I mean, when I was growing up, depends on what age you're talking about. Because, we have age children, adolescent,
So
adult.
like throughout the years up to high school, would you say you had 30 friends that you
30? No, I wouldn't say that.
20?
20? 15 maybe?
15. Out of those 15, how many of them had fathers in the house?
That's interesting. I want to say 10.
Okay. That's very different. So when I was growing up,
That's Queens get the money.
Whatever. So when I was growing up, it's like my father wasn't in the house, and a lot of my friends ain't had no father in the house. So I don't know where these women are getting it from. Like, if you ask them, it's like, was your father in the house? Most of them didn't have no father in the house. So that wasn't even their experience. Now, in terms of dating and courting, of course. But when it becomes the expectation, that's one thing. If I say, hey, I'm going to grab some wings at this little local bar, I'm going to come get you and go, and you say, nah, I only go to Del Frisco's, it's over. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, the courting thing is cool, but when you getting to know somebody, are you getting to know them or you getting to know their pockets? Like, what happened to men taking a female out on a picnic? Like, I'm just saying the expectation has gone so out of hand where it's like, pay for this. And then how ridiculous is it for me to want to court you and you tell me I need to pay for your babysitter, which means you got a baby daddy, not an ex-husband, and then you trying to tell me what a man is, and you've never been in a situation where you can even think about dictating it. That is absolutely ridiculous. So I think women are trying to get to know men's pockets before they get to know the man, and that's crazy. So yeah, you're gonna take women on date? Yeah, absolutely. But if me being with you is a transaction where I'm buying you, that's crazy.
Okay, but I don't think women just automatically wake up and say, you got to pay for my meal and do all of that, right? There are a lot of men that be, fronting, acting like they got it, but they really don't. And then it'd be situations if, first of all, let's be clear, right? For me, I want what I want. I like what I like, right? So if you ask me to go out, right, because of who I am, my expectations is I want to go somewhere that I'm going to enjoy, right? And it may not matter the price of the meal, but if I want lobster and caviar, then that's what I'm gonna get, right? So if we having conversations and you getting to know me, then based on our conversation, you should be able to gauge what it is that I like. So if you asking me to go out and I want lobster and caviar, then the expectation is that you are aware that that's something that I want, and you should be able to financially support that. If you're taking me out.
I mean, I think everybody is not for everybody. Like there are people that just aren't for you. Me personally, and I just posted this on my social media within a week. It said, find a female that can take care of herself and then take care of her. So you should know what you're getting yourself into as a man. But when woman has an expectation on those things, and that's like her defining thing, and that's the first part of the conversation, and that's all that matters, that's crazy. Men always date down. Always. Women always trying to date up.
So you think that
financially?
I mean, I mean, I do think that it's important to have conversations to really know what it is that a person is able to afford, or what kind of what are their financial means at the time. Because a lot of times, you're right, there is an expectation or an assumption that a person is financially stable, or in a financial situation where they can pay for what it is that they want, but it doesn't always happen that way.
Right.
But then, okay, so so I got a better one for you, right?
What's up?
You know what I got?
What are those? I'm not signing no contract. What is that?
My notes.
Oh God! All right.
So when we talk about, let me lay down, right? Expectations, right?
Right.
Do you think that as a man, you ask a woman out on a date, man, y'all go somewhere to eat, and she orders whatever it is that she wants on the menu? You think that's a problem, or you think that she should know that certain things she's not supposed to order?
No, if you take it there, your expectation be that anything on that menu is easy.
Okay. So you saying that what I'm hearing you say, what you said earlier, was that you have to have an emotional connection to take someone out, like
No, I was
spend
just saying,
money.
what's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with me saying, like, it's gotten to the point. Remember when they had that list, like, oh, he tried to take me to TGI Fridays on the first date. Like, first of all, I don't even know you, so you need to establish some value before I take you to whatever high class restaurant you think you're going to. That's never going to be a first date. I'm just talking for me. I'm never going to take a woman out on some elaborate first date, and I'm trying to get to know her. That's just not going to happen. But when you start talking about dictating to me where I'm taking you, then that's crazy, because I have value too. And I think that's the lost part of this conversation. I think female think it's all about them and the man has no value. That's not necessarily true. So the first date is not going to be like, oh yeah, let's go here, there, wherever, steakhouse, a la carte. No, I'm not. First of all, I'm not setting an expectation. Second of all, I don't know you like that. So to me, you have no value yet. When you establish some value, then maybe we'll go to those places. But it's a shame too that women only talk about going out to eat. There's a lot of places to go on a first date to get to know somebody. Because
Well,
essentially that's what I'm trying to do. Are you trying to go eat your favorite food, or are you trying to get to know me? Like, which one is it? Because we don't always have to go out to eat.
I'm gonna say it depends on the type of woman that you dealing with. Because I don't. I mean, I think a first date can be many things, right?
Absolutely.
It could be flying me out, and us going
Whoa.
somewhere. But what I'm saying is
Take
that
it easy.
I think that, if again, when you're in the transition of meeting someone, or entertaining, conversating, most of the time, before you go out, if it's not like a immediate date that you've just met the person and you're gonna just kind of, hey, let's go out now, go to breakfast, you're having some conversation. You're having some conversations on the phone. You're discussing life. You're sharing, maybe not sharing. You're giving a little bit, you're taking a little bit. So in a conversation, there are a lot of things you can find out about a person, especially when you're saying to a person, I want to take you out. Right? I don't particularly think there's anything wrong with wanting to go to Capitol Grill instead of Applebee's.
I don't either.
But I also think that if that's where you want to go, you might want to be able to have your money to pay for yourself. Right?
Why? You mean in case something go wrong?
No, I'm just saying that I don't think that if I don't have the money to pay for myself, then I'm not going to expect someone to take me somewhere if I can't do it myself. I think a lot of time there are some women who expect certain things but can't take themselves there.
Right.
So if I know my worth and I know where I'm at in my head and I know how I feel within, and I know that I want Capitol Grill, or I want Roof Chris, what's the other spot? Anyway, I want to go to the best steakhouse in New York City at the top of the rooftop. And I know that if I meet somebody and he's having a conversation with me and he's saying, listen, I want to take you out. What do you like to eat? Say, I like steak. I want to go to the windows of the world. Right? Is at that moment he's going to say, oh, that's what's up. Maybe one day. or I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna take you there on our first date. So I think that men should be able to articulate what their expectations are as well, because it's an assumption, right? A lot of men will meet a woman, a beautiful woman, and be like, "Oh, I want to get her," and they might have low self esteem within themselves, and because they have low self esteem, they're not able to be honest or truthful about who they really are, right?
You mean
So
about what they have, who they are has nothing to do with their financial status.
I
That
disagree.
is what you mean, right?
No, I mean, if you know that your financial capacity is down here, right? Then you shouldn't be acting like it's up here.
Yeah, that's a man's fault if he does that.
I mean, but there are a lot of men that do that.
I mean, where you meeting them?
Listen, you can meet there's different. You listen, you can meet them anywhere, and they have the same quality of life. People know how to play games, and people don't. Some people
I
just
mean,
know
I'm
how
not
to
gonna
play
lie.
games.
I'm not gonna lie. I be in a lot of circles, right? So I be at the hood bar, but I also be in a suit with cufflinks at certain places. So my expectation of who I'm gonna meet at these places is different. So let's just say I'm at a corporate function when I was with Johnson Publishing. I expect the women there to be like, "Hey, I want to go here, go there." So I'll probably have that approach anyway, and that's probably what's going. Let's say I'm in the hood bar. I'm not expecting that. Like you're not about to listen to a Fabulous song and think you're gonna spit out restaurants he said and want to go there. That's not happening. Like
Right, but
that's just not happening.
what I'm saying, so what I'm hearing you say is it depends on what I have. Like you saying that the type of environment determines how you respond to somebody.
No, but it tempers my expectation. Now, if I meet somebody in the grocery store, I have no idea about it, so we'll talk and we'll figure it out. But if we're meeting in some corporate meeting, and I know you work for XYZ, P&G, or something like that, then I know my expectation, you probably getting a little change and stuff. But if we meet in the hood bar and we having drinks and we kicking it, and you like, yeah, I'm a football fan. All right, bet, let's go out to eat. And you start talking all this high powered stuff, I'm not going for that. At the end of the day, I like down to earth people though. That's just me. So I've been to every restaurant you can think of, like, but I just like down to earth people. If that's your expectation and you trying to get in a man's pockets, a real man is gonna know that that's all you really trying to get to. So why would I want to get to know somebody like that thinks I'm supposed to take care of them like they're my child? That's never gonna happen. Like
Yeah, but you
relationships are
can't.
dead. It's not about love. It's not about let's do this together. It's not about any of that. Like when it becomes save me, throw me a life vest, or just take care of me so I can stack my bread in case I leave, I'm good. That's not a relationship, right? Like relationships are dead, yeah. Any
Hold on.
young dude that tells me y'all want to get married, I'm gonna tell him he's crazy.
No,
Men lose.
I don't agree because first of all, just because I can go to the high upscale restaurant and I can go to the hood or the hood spot. That don't mean if I'm at the hood spot, that don't mean that I don't warrant the highest of the high if that's what I want. Right? Because it's something called being versatile. Just because I decide that I want to go meet a friend in the hood spot doesn't make me lesser than who I am if I am the person that's in the corporate America or I work for the top company and I'm making a top dollar. So you can't say that if you meet me in a corporate event that you're gonna wine and dine me with caviar, and then tell me if you meet me in the hood spot, then you're gonna take me to Chick-fil-A. That's crazy to me.
No,
Why?
I'm not saying
Because
that.
you hold on,
What I
hold on, let
said
me
was
land.
still.
Let me
First of
land.
all,
Hold on, let me land.
no,
Let
no,
me
hold
land.
on
Let
one
me. I
second,
just
love me.
finished. Let me land. Because if that's what I'm saying is that understanding a down to earth person, as if you said you would prefer someone that's down to earth. A down to earth person is going to be able to do different things, wear many hats, switch off and on. I can go over here and be who you need me to be, and I can go over here and be who you need me to be. That's what I'm saying. So I can't you I mean, I think that you would shortchange yourself if you're judging someone based on where you meet them. Now don't get me wrong, right? You can walk up into a hood spot and know exactly what you're talking about based on the look, based on the conversation, right? But you can't tell me that you've never been to a hood spot and didn't have an intellectual conversation with someone.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I'll understand their palate more. So, first of all, I'm in the spots, so I'm diverse too. But that's what I'm talking about. If our first conversation, regardless of why I met you, is, "Hey, we need to go here," then I'm like, "Yo, what?" First of all, if I'm asking you out, I'm taking you where I'm taking you. You're not dictating to me where I'm going to spend my money on you. That's out. You can just say no, and we don't have to go nowhere. But the minute you try to dictate to me where I'm gonna spend my money on you because it's about you, that tells me enough about a woman in itself. I'm walking away. I'm losing the number and I'm out of here. Because we have to get to know each other, and there's too much like the fact that that's at the forefront of conversations, and females are literally like they had something. I was watching Instagram the other day, and Shorty was on the first date and asked him how much he makes. Like what? First of all, that's none of your business. Second of all, how can you not tell? You should be able to tell about what he makes. Like he came to pick you up. What was he driving? What did he look like? How does he dress? It doesn't tell you.
That don't mean nothing either. Because just because a person ain't driving, they live in. Some people live in the city and don't want a car.
You don't downright ask a man how much money he makes. Like that's crazy on the first date.
I mean, hold on now. Let's talk about it, right? I need to know what it is that you do and what your occupation is before I can continue. Okay.
Yeah, but that's not asking him how much he makes. She asked for revenue. If you say how much, what do you do for a living? That's standard. I'm a school teacher.
If you tell me what you do for a living and you tell me where you work at, I got you. I'm gonna know before you tell me. But my point is, I'm gonna ask the necessary questions because why? I don't want to waste my time. And one thing for sure, two things for sure. And where I am on my food chain, you got to be somewhere there or a little above. So I'm not gonna ask you. And this is no disrespect to anybody that works where they work. That's your business. You work where you work. I did what I needed to do to get where I'm at, and I went to school and I did what I need to do for me. So I'm not gonna deal with somebody that. Don't get me wrong. I have dealt with someone that wasn't on the same caliber for me, and it just didn't work because the mindset was different. Right. So it is important to ask certain questions about a person's lifestyle and what you do for a living, and not I got a construction company, because we already know what that means. But what I'm saying is that I think it's important to ask those questions, right?
How much you make?
I also know I'm not saying listen, a woman and man can ask whatever they heart desire. You don't have to answer it. The simple answer is none of your. I don't think that's an appropriate question, or not. I wouldn't say none of your business, but I'm not answering that. You know how to avoid questions. Y'all men know how to avoid a question. If y'all
at the end of the day.
So at the end of the day, people should be able to ask whatever they want to ask. It's a matter of your perception and how you take it and what you get from it when somebody's asking you a question. That's what the problem is. You feel like a woman shouldn't ask certain questions, and I feel like you should ask whatever question you want. Just like that question about being with a dude. Nobody likes that question. Everybody's offended by it, but I'm going to ask that question. I'm just saying, you want there to be a limit to what questions should be asked. Like you said, a woman should not be asking a man how much he make, right? But what if she want to know?
No, I'm not saying that she has a limit. I'm saying a woman that does that has no etiquette or couth and doesn't know anything about how to figure that out. Like you said, hey, what do you do for a living? Should tell you the answer to that story. You don't downright ask them straight up, like, how much money do you make? Like, that's bananas, bro.
I've never asked that question. I don't think. First of all, I think if somebody asks you that, they're not smart.
No class if you ask that.
Okay, I agree.
I'm ending the date. Like, that's crazy. You don't ask nobody that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think that how much you make should be a question at all, because I ain't answering that question, right? However, I do think what you do for a living is an appropriate question before we even go on a first date. What you do? Because you got a construction company, and it's not. I don't know where it's at, or I can't look it up. It's a problem, right? Because you know what those means, right? We're not washing away our money in the laundromat or something like that. But my point is, I'm gonna ask questions, and I look people up. I have no problem. I will tell you in a heartbeat, because men lie and women lie too. Men
you should definitely.
Women have a better way of. I'm gonna tell. I used to when I dated, I used to be like, I'm gonna look you up straight up. I'm letting you know right now. I'm doing a full background check on you, right? And again, most of us want dudes that's in the similar tax bracket. I don't want somebody that's not in my tax bracket. Because I ain't no sugar mama, and I ain't taking care of nobody but my kids.
What do you call taking care of somebody? Going half? You think that's taking care of them?
No, I don't think that is. I think that taking care of somebody is having to take care of all the responsibility within your household, because that person is unable to meet their needs.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm talking about. And have I ever done that in my lifetime of dating? Absolutely. And that's just not a good feeling. Nobody. And I think men and women want to be the full provider while another person is doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, no.
Right? Nobody wants to pay all the bills and watch their money disappear from their account while they paying those bills while the other person, man or female, is doing absolutely nothing. That's not gonna work.
How you feel about a female that doesn't want to talk on the phone? She wants you to take her out before you get to know anything about her. She's like, no, we don't need to talk. Take me to dinner first.
I mean, she trying to set you up. No.
Does it?
So let's unpack that for a second. If you meet somebody that don't want to have no conversations with you, and they just want to go out to eat, then they just want to go out to eat.
Right. If they be like, no, we can talk about this over dinner. You don't need to ask me anything.
Nah, they just want to go out to eat, and when you get there, you're not talking about nothing, but you're gonna pay for this food. I mean, I think that people, women and men, right? Sometimes we are in circumstances, situation that we just don't even pay attention to, and it be right there in your face. If a man said to me, "I don't want to talk to you on the phone. I just want to take you out. We could talk," right? I'm gonna be like, "What?" Like, I'm not really understanding that, right?
I could see a man saying that, like, let's talk about this over dinner. But when a woman says it, it's like, what? So men are trying to do that to impress you. Usually those are the ones that be like, yeah, I'm gonna take you to Roof Chris or some dumb shit, Red Lobster. They don't even know what real fine dining is. They just be like, yeah, let's, they're trying to go somewhere with you.
I mean, but again, it has to do with generation. Like, it has to do with people's upbringing, where they are in their life, some people are real social media influenced, period. Right? From the way people dress, from the way they want their body look, from what they expect a man to do. Excuse me. And I think that a lot of times, like with our children, we try to prevent our children from being so influenced by social media, but they walk right into it and they want to do everything on it. Right? That's a part of life. But I also think that there's a lot of men that have not had a male figure in their life. Right? There's a lot of men that don't know what it means to be a protector and a provider. Right? So when they hear it, they don't know how to process it. Right? And you laughing, but it's the truth. When there's an absence of a father figure or a father in their life, a lack of consistency, there's a lot of things that are not learned, right? And a lot of
the lack of father in the house affects females more than it does men, in my opinion.
That's your opinion. I don't agree with that, right? Because a woman, most of our women, black and brown women, are forced to raise men by themselves. For the most part, not all, but there are a lot of circumstances, right? So I'm not saying that a woman can't do it, because some of us are forced to be both mom and the father figure, not so much the man, because a woman is not a man, right? And there are several circumstances where you're forced to be both, right? So when you're forced to be both, all you can really do is teach your son, what you know. Right? That's just that. Like, you can't make more of it, because at the end of the day, a woman can only a parent can only be a parent to what they know, because there's no manual to be a parent, right? However, no male figure leaves a lot of room for a lack of understanding of what it means when you're dealing with a woman.
Right? Yeah, but what my point is that I was going to say is, a little boy growing up has a football coach, a basketball coach. He got other men coming in that might take over. A female, a little girl doesn't have that. So I think men innately learn from older dudes, from coaches, from being in certain things more. I think it affects women more. I think that's why their expectation is so crazy.
I don't know if I would say it affects women more, right? I don't know if I would say that, because you're basically saying that without a male figure, women are not they're not raised properly.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Because
I'm saying
a man,
expectation.
A woman.
I'm saying that their expectation of what a man should be is more of a void, because they haven't been around one. They have nothing to benchmark. They have nothing to see. As a little boy, with my father not in the house, even though my father was around, I saw my football coach, my basketball coach. I had them talk to me about respect, about certain things. There's certain things growing up as a young black man that you're just going to experience from just like playing sports and being outside. I don't think black girls have that same experience. All they have is a mother who, if the father's not in the house, she's either divorced or he's not there. So they're devoid of that influence at all.
Yeah, but I don't agree because just like men, boys are in coach football, basketball, baseball, girls have dance school.
Females. Females.
I said girls.
I know, but I'm saying
Females, okay.
my daughter did dance. My daughter did cheerleading.
Right.
There's no
So that's
male.
what I'm
There's
saying.
no
So
male.
there
Hold
are
on,
some
hold on a
influences.
second. There's no male role models there. I was the only man when my daughter was in dance school. There was no men until they came to the end of the show and watched their kid for 5 minutes. So
But
I'm
we're
saying those
talking
things are
about
different.
behaviors and learned behaviors and where they get the learned behaviors from, right?
That's what I'm
You're
saying. I'm saying
talking about you're talking about
a
the
little
male
girl growing out with a
influence.
father is far less able to see what a man is as opposed to a little boy growing up without a father. A little boy growing out with a father is going to be around men, especially if he plays sports. He's going to see men. And I'm talking about real men that act like men. A little girl growing up with a father is going to be devoid of that in most of her activities and her lifestyle.
Yeah, but girls get their role model from their mothers and women. They don't get different aspects of life from men. Now they do. There are certain things that a father can teach his daughter to understand when she's older, like the first love, how you should be treated, pull your chair out, close the door, certain things that a man should teach a woman. But what I'm saying is that you said that women are more affected by the absence of a man than men. That's what you said.
That's been my experience.
Right, but I'm saying that I don't actually agree because what I'm saying is that most men, boys that turn into men that has absent father and don't have that father figure in their life lack a lot of things, right? They lack vulnerability, they lack trust, right? They lack the understanding of what courting is. They lack understanding of how they're supposed to treat a woman, right? Because they only know how they treat their mother, right? So then you have situations where the man is looking for his mother instead of a woman, right? Or a man takes all of the advice from his mother because that's all he knows because he's never had a male in his life to guide him to understand the dynamics of relationship when it comes to a woman and a man. That's my opinion. So let's see. I'm going to Instagram. So Hazel, hey Hazel, she said
Oh, God, Hazel.
she said my
Take a
dad
break. Go ahead, read it.
she said my dad taught me about respect, money managing, how to conduct myself, never sit on a man's lap, not even his. True. How to be in certain settings now. Do I always follow? No, but it did take more from my dad. I did take more from my dad than my mom. Okay. And that I mean that I think that is important. I think so when we let's go back to the topic of hand, right? I think a lot of the behaviors in which the expectations are unrealistic when it comes to um, women expecting man to do everything comes from different factors, right? We've already discussed the social media aspect, right? But I do think that a lot of times it's really about conversation, right? The idea that someone would say to another person, "You have to pay for me to give you my time,"
That's
is
crazy.
it's wild, right? Um, the idea to hear someone say, I'm the best thing ever. You gotta do certain things. I can't even because I wanted to say, is that a confident thing or is that an entitlement?
I think it's a crazy thing. I mean, but shout out to them. They can do what they want. What's that girl that talking about you had to give me 50, 45 to 50,000 to date me or something like that? I forgot her name. It's all over social media. Like, that's crazy.
Hazel said, like when my mom, I learned to be a mom that takes care of the house with my dad, and I learned how to be more independent. Okay, that's good. That's where I'm headed, right? Because I want to say, do you think there's a difference between being independent and having an versus expectation?
No, I think you can be both.
Do you think that a lot of women have these expectations in regards to um, pay for me and pay for my time has to do with their independence?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know where they get that from.
Because there are some men that do what they're told. You may not agree with it, but there are women who feel like a man is supposed to pay for their time and pay for everything because there are men that do it. What do you say about that?
Shout out to them. I'm not that man. But like I told you about the post I gave, find a woman that can take care of herself and then take care of her. So would I do that for the right woman? Absolutely. But that woman's not going to feel like it's a demand to do it, and it's going to be reciprocated.
So let's talk about that for a second. Farrakhan, right?
Shout out to him.
Yes, shout out to Farrakhan. He has been with the same woman for how many years? With 8 children, right? And he often talks about a man taking care of his woman, right? Tell me your thoughts about that.
I mean, I agree with him. He's Muslim.
No.
In Islam, you're supposed to take care of your woman. But look at the woman that he's talking about taking care of. He's talking about a Muslim woman. These women out here ain't Muslim. They're not in 3/4. They don't understand. They're not praying 5 times a day. They're not getting up during Ramadan before Fajr and make you something to eat before you pray. They're not doing none of that to justify anything that he's talking about. He's talking to his population. He's not talking to little JoJo that mess with Shaniqua. He's not talking to him. He's talking about his Muslim brothers stepping up and making sure they take care of their family and their good Muslim wholesome wife, who you're not even supposed to marry unless she's pure. That is not the same people that he's talking to.
So do you think, okay, I mean, I get it. I do get that he does speak to his community, right? But a lot of the stuff that he say, I think that it has an effect on people whether they have the same religious dynamics or not, right? One God,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I've heard Farrakhan speak. I've gone to see him speak, and I'm not Muslim, right? But I definitely have understood a lot of things that he speaks to. But I also believe that a lot of the things that you do and how you handle people has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself and what's within when it comes to your interaction, right? I think that a lot of times people don't take the time to really get to know a person, right? And like you said, it's automatically, let's go to the high-end spot and let me spend about a G on this food here. But I don't even at the end of the night, I don't even know your last name, right? But what are the boundaries that are being set? Right? Because not for nothing, if you're saying you have a conversation with somebody and she say, yo, you got to pay me to talk to me, you have a choice at that point. You either exit left or you stay. Right? So I really think that when it comes to, what is it, a pressure thing? So let's talk about the men for a second, right? What are the men thinking, right? Is it pressure on you to perform financially, right? Is it feeling versus feeling appreciated? Are you doing it because that's you want to feel appreciated? And when does providing turn into being taken advantage of?
Good question. I think that depends on the man and what he's willing to do. If a man out here tricking, that's his business. All I'm saying, if that's
it ain't tricking if you got it, but
if that's his go-to, if a man is coming at you throwing money at you, right? That's all he has to offer. Just like a woman that's half naked, that's all she has to offer. So
I don't agree with that.
To my women out there, they need to be very careful. Because a man throwing money at you, that means he throws money at stuff that he wants. And he's going to want another woman. And I'm talking about 51% of the time. So be careful. Like, long gone are the stories of what is he about? Is he affectionate? Does he care about you emotionally and spiritually? Like, that's all gone. Everything is just business. If you want to find a man that's going to throw money at you like that, then shout out to you. Go ahead.
I mean, I think it depends on where you are in your life. I think from 20 to 27, you would like to meet somebody that want to throw the cash at you.
Have you been watching social media? You saw that woman with the masculine injury and the man shot her and ran her over with the car. Like, you got to be very careful taking advantage of people out here in these streets. People out here playing dangerous
games. Men and women do it. Men and women take advantage of circumstances, and that's the sad part.
One thing at a time.
Okay.
We're talking about this situation, like women, like my daughter. I tell her all the time, be careful who you play with. Don't be out here playing with people, with their money, with their emotions, with their time, with anything. Don't be out here playing with people. So, a lot of these women out here playing, they're playing very dangerous games, man. Very dangerous games. If that's what they own, that's what they own. And I think if a man got a bunch of money and he wants to use it to go and take a woman out and do whatever he wants to do, then shout out to him. Right. But if my daughter came to me and said, yo, this dude in wherever wants to fly me out, she ain't going. Talking about he flying you out. There's an expectation with that too. It's not happening. It's not happening. I think everybody wants wealth. Everybody wants nice things.
Your daughter is 22.
21.
She's 21. Yeah, that's not a good example. I'm grown. Okay. Flying out. I've been flown out.
How about say, yo, watch your mouth. You're married now. Watch your mouth. You almost got caught slipping.
I don't agree. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but you're speaking from a biased perspective, right? When it comes to your kid, as a male with a daughter, that's different. We're talking about the mindset of dating and getting to know someone, and me saying, not me, but a woman saying, you got to pay to play.
I've flown females in. I had one female fly herself in though. But I'm just saying, like, if you say I gotta pay to play, then I don't want to play. That's not a game. That's not a game I'm willing to play.
Right, but you also got to find out what that means. Everybody's definition of you got to pay to play is different.
I don't want to find out what it means because that's the wrong lead-in. I want to be.
I seriously doubt somebody's gonna come to you and say you got to pay to play.
Maybe not like that, but they might say it in a different way. Like this dating pool out here is bananas.
Listen, you know what my sister, in the wonderful words of my sister, you know what she said?
What she said?
She said, pussy can't be free if crack still costs money.
Okay.
So
I can go buy pussy anywhere.
That's a fact. That's a fact, but what's the quality of it?
Top tier if I'm paying for it. And it don't come with no dinner.
What?
So I'm saying.
What?
I'm saying. Listen, you can go ahead and buy it.
No. All jokes aside, seriously, I think that is. I think
it's nasty work out here.
It is nasty work. It is, and it's a lot of social media influencing. It's a lot of the music, but a lot of the women that say they want pay to play is not young girls.
Oh, I know. It's baby mamas with 3 kids that are sick of it and they want to change their lifestyle. I'll pass.
I don't know about that. I'm not. No.
That child support ran out. Now they popped.
I don't know about that. I'm sorry. Never mind.
No, yeah, don't. Here you go. Here you go. I already know what you're about to say.
So, do you feel like, as a man, do you feel like there's pressure?
No.
To meet the financial needs of women when you're in the dating world?
No. I think that pressure would come from me. Like, can't no female pressure me. I'm not gonna. You already know me. I'm be like, word, bye. Lose my number. Don't talk to me in traffic. Bye. Get out of here. I don't feel no pressure. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And if you've earned,
I mean, you don't say goodbye to anybody that you just don't like talking to you. So I don't know.
I don't got time for games. But if you've earned the right for me to spend money on you, then I'm going to.
All right. So what advice would you give women regarding guys who love bomb?
What is love bomb? Drop the L word early?
Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh, you're going to read the Webster Dictionary definition. Go ahead.
I mean, everybody has a different perception, but let's talk about it. Love.
Was that a question somebody asked?
Yep. Love bombing means the action or practice of lavishing someone with attention and affection, especially in order to influence or manipulate them.
I mean, that's what they do. That's what it is. Men are trying to impress.
The question is, what advice would you give women regarding guys who love bomb them?
I would tell them to deep dive that situation and make sure that person is genuine. Find out historically, get as much information on that person, because that can be dangerous.
What?
That can be dangerous.
Deep dive that situation. Yeah, but that's not
but you got to be
advice.
careful. You got to be careful. You got men out here that once they spend a certain amount of money, they have an expectation, and that
Okay.
can be very dangerous. So if a dude is just like, here, take this 500, go shopping, take this, and all of a sudden you figure out, you know what, I don't like this dude. You might be in big trouble because he might be a maniac.
But that has a lot to do with a woman and where she's at in her life, where she's at emotionally, where she's at as far as her confidence is concerned. Because there are women that you just can't buy. Period. You just can't. Right? There are women. What you making that face for?
Nothing.
There are
Everybody got a
women.
price.
Huh?
Everybody got a price.
Nah, that's like what's the name of that movie where he bet it was a bet with his wife.
Oh, $1 million. Let me get your wife for a day.
Indecent proposal.
Yeah, and they met on the pier.
So what I'm
But they
saying
did. But
is
they
that
did it though.
what I'm saying is that
Everybody got a price, and it broke his heart too.
everybody don't have a price. I
And you
mean,
see what happened to her, right?
no.
She fell in love with him. He had her on a yacht and all kind of stuff. He spoiled her with all kind of stuff. It was never the same. It was over. And he cracked.
And he what?
He cracked.
He cracked.
Yeah.
What you mean?
GTD. You ain't watch Martin? Got the draws? He cracks. Yeah, he cracked. I'm saying that's when the money. That's when she left somebody she loved that she built something with that she was married to, and because he comes in there talking about I give you, it's called Indecent Proposal. Everybody should watch it.
Yeah, but there was circumstances behind why what was being done. There was money. It was a money thing. It was a financial gain.
The
Right?
finances ruin a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. But that's a casualty of war, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a
If
difference.
you put that on the table, if you put it on the table, then yes, it's definitely a casualty of war. If you don't put it on the table, then that's something different. But again, that allows to be careful of people bearing gifts very early.
Facts. There's a difference between between broke and not be able to go to Dubai every Thursday and Tuesday. Like
Right.
there's levels to this. Females think because a man don't want to spend something on bop that they totally popped. Like money can't be the root of your relationship because it can come and go. You got to have more substance than that. Like
All right, but here's the question: how many women do you think? And I'm sure my people's in the audience, right?
mm-hmm.
How often do you go through situations where someone gives you that love bomb in the beginning and they just shower you? Because some of us don't need to be showered. Like we can do it ourselves, but it's nice when it happens, right? But the mindset is what's important, right? Because somebody of my age caliber, thank you, but that's not what's gonna make me drive, right? But in the younger generation, those are the things that they do that drives them, right? It drives them. Oh, he spent the bag on me. Oh, he bought me some sneakers. Like he bought me this, right? In my generation, did you give me a D? You got a D. You bought me a house. I'm with that, right?
You're lying.
I'm not
5411.
lying. I'm just saying the
5411s. You was not. You
Nah,
stop
I'm
acting
talking
like that.
about now. I'm talking about in my generation now. I'm not talking about back then when you could buy me some Timberlands and a pair of True Religion jeans and hobby I had. But what I'm saying is that the women today, and I'm talking about a younger generation, right? They don't have that class that some of us have and we've learned to have, right? Because it's not something that we automatically have. It's based on our experience and what we've been through that causes us to understand certain dynamics when it comes to life, period, especially when it comes to dealing and dating, right? Most of us in my age, most of my friends, we're all married. Most of us are married and we're doing our own little thing. However, we can have real conversation, like what it would be like if we were single. I'm just saying, like our mindset and how we think is different in this age bracket that we're in, right? My age bracket, you can't come to me with no bullshit. Like what? I'm sorry. You say you're not working? Oh, okay. You have a good day.
Yeah, of course not.
You can't do nothing for me, right? Oh, you got like 8 kids? Oh, yeah. Have a nice day. Right? So I think that it's important to understand that People make decisions for what they want, where they are in their life in that very moment, right? If you, Tasha Mack said, I can't date anyone if they don't have a 401k or a pension.
She lying.
You sounding like Dolores.
She lying.
Why is she lying? But why can't that be a standard for her? That's her standard.
No, that can
right?
be a standard.
Because a person, hold on. What you saying?
That could be a standard, but the dude might be an entrepreneur and I have a 401k.
Yeah, but that's different. An entrepreneur, where your business at? How far are you on your business? What level you on? Yeah, because again, I'm talking about our age bracket. I'm talking about my generation.
50. Yeah.
Right? 40 to 50. That's where I'm at right now, right? I don't know anybody, any of my friends or anybody that I know that's in the same age bracket as me that's gonna say, I'm gonna rock out with Shorty even though he ain't got no job.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm gonna rock out with Shorty because he's staying in his mama's house.
That's way left.
I'm gonna rock out with Shorty because he just look good. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. You gotta be equally yoked at this point in the game, right? However, a younger generation don't think like that. Most people at 40 to 50 and over, emotions is not playing a role in the decision making.
It's a business decision.
It's not. 20 to probably 39, emotions. Look at this one. He disappeared. But anyway, I'm standing on business with that. Anybody got something to say with it? I'm standing on business with the age factor when it comes to certain and how people handle things. I'm standing on business when I say that independence versus expectation has a lot to do with where you are. Yeah, has a lot to do with where you are and where in your life and what it is that you want to do. Most people who have established what they want to do in life, they're not living in the you got to pay for my phone call. You got to pay to talk to me. That sounds crazy. But there are some people who are in the younger generation that's with it. And I'm not saying that in our generation it's not being done because people have different maturities, right? And they act a certain way and they do certain things. But at the end of the day, you are in control of your destiny. That's it. And I think it's important to be honest about what it is that you want. So if you're dating and you're going out and you're meeting people and you want to know what it is that they got and what they working with, you should ask questions. Any question that you want to ask, I feel is valid. It should never be a situation where you gotta feel like you can't ask a question to someone because you're dating. If you're dating someone and you're single, any question you want to ask, you should be able to ask. And that's it. And if anyone that you meet that you're talking to is offended by any of your questions, then that should be a red flag, in my opinion. Right? So when we talk about real versus fake, if I'm gonna ask you, if I have a questionnaire, then I'm gonna expect you to answer the questionnaire. If you have a questionnaire, I'm gonna answer the questions. Why? Because I'm sure within myself. If I'm asking a man, right? If he ever
I know I was about to say, tell me the question you want to ask, but go ahead.
If I'm dating and I ask the question, have you ever thought about being with a man? Why is that a problem?
That is mad offensive.
But why is it offensive?
Because what makes you think? If me and you on a date, hey, come on, Lala, I like you. Come on, let's go out to eat. We sitting there, we chilling, and you ask me that, I'm gonna know what about me makes you think I would want to be with a man. But that's
the thing. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be about you.
Who's it about? The other man? It's mad offensive. It is about me.
I'm gonna be honest with you, right? The problem is this, right? We live in a world where there's a lot of DL, manipulating, lying stuff going on, right? I don't think that it's appropriate to be offended if I'm asking you a question. Okay, hold on. I'll take that back. You can be offended, and say what you asking me for, but I'm still gonna ask the question. Just like most men want to know how many bodies a woman got.
And y'all lie.
I'm not answering that. I'm at 51. I wish a nigga would. If I wasn't married, you could never ask me that question. I'm not answering. It's none of your business.
Asking questions that people gonna lie about. If you ask a man, do he shake, rattle, and roll? He's gonna be like, no. Just like if you ask a chick how many bodies she got, she'll be like 4. Y'all, I'm not asking questions just to be lied to.
5, no.
Yeah. They'll say 4 and have 6 kids. What? That's impossible. Like, nobody want to hear that, man. Nobody's asking. That's just a dumb question. But
again, if you choose to ask that question, that is within your right. I feel like the problem is a lot of times is that people feel like because of your own thought processes, your own belief, that no one has a right to ask questions. If I want to ask a question, and you may not like the question, it's okay to say, I don't appreciate that question. But that doesn't stop me from asking the question that I want to ask. And that's what I'm saying. You can't tell me, you said if a woman asks you how much money you make, you cutting a date off. It's a wrap. It's doobie. It's a doobie. Right? Now, how much money you make, right, doesn't always necessarily mean $1. See?
What?
How much money you make doesn't always have to answer with $1. If a smart man,
he would say enough.
That question,
but that's not the point, though. I would say enough. My point is, who do you think you are asking me about how much money I make? The fact that you felt like you were comfortable enough to ask me that is why I don't have to rock with you. It's your mindset of thinking that it's all right to ask me that. If you ask me, do I shake, rattle, and roll? I'm gonna be offended. Date over.
Somebody asked, Cash Jams asked if we're asking on the first date. I mean, I don't know if it's the first date. I mean,
you be asking on the first date. You be asking.
No, he's talking about the salary thing. I don't have to ask somebody how much money they make. I'm gonna ask you what you do for a living. What is your occupation? I'm definitely gonna ask that question before I even go out on a date. If I give you my number, I'm asking that question before I even get to the date, right? But I damn sure gonna ask you about that, them desires and them. If you shake, rattling, and rolling, that's what you said. I'm gonna ask that question. I've got in full transparency for me when I was outside, I've gotten cursed out for that question, literally.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
But again, why?
Have you ever heard?
I'm still trying to understand why you offended by that question.
And the man said 3.
Huh?
Have you ever asked that question and the man said, yeah, 3, but I'm over that now? Never. That's why it's a dumbass question. This is what I'm talking about. You're asking dumbass questions. The audacity for you to ask that question if a dude shake down the road.
I'm gonna ask that question, right? Because I want to. Period. Right. I'm also gonna ask that question, right? So that if later on down the line something happens, I'm gonna say, but I asked you.
Something happens like what?
Anything.
No.
But that's the thing. You can't put a limitation on what a person acts, especially in a wonderful dating world. You can't tell a woman that if she feels like telling you, you got to pay for my conversation, that she's wrong. That's her business.
I'm not saying that.
You don't have to agree with it, right? But again, like I said before, you have a choice. You have a choice to either deal with it or not. You have a choice to either talk to her or not. There are some men that, you got to pay for this, and you got some men that say, bet, no problem. I'm with it, right? But then you got men like you that be like, hell no, I ain't going. I'm not doing none of that. And that's your preference. That's your preference. You got men that'll buy a woman a whole house because he wants to, because he got it like that. That's his prerogative. But you can't tell me I can't ask you that question, because if my last man, right, bought me a house, right, and I meet you, I might want to know what you would do. There's a bar that was set.
I'm gonna do the same thing your last man did: buy your house and then leave you. Because where's he at?
Listen, that's not always what the circumstances is. Like, you are so. He said, what it do is okay. What you do is Deacon said, what you do is okay, but asking how much I make is diabolical. I don't think you should ask the question. I mean, and I think if somebody asks me that, I'm going to laugh at them and I ain't answering. You got a right to answer. But my point, Deacon, what I'm saying is this, right?
The fact that you don't
but you don't have to agree with the questions that's being asked, but you don't have a right to tell somebody what they can and cannot ask you.
I would never tell them that. I just won't speak to them no more, because I don't want to be with a person that feels like it's okay to ask that.
That's your preference, though. But again, I have a preference. If I'm in a dating world and I choose to ask questions, I'm gonna ask the questions I want to ask for me. You don't have to like the question, and you don't have to answer the questions either. See how that works? If you don't like my line of questioning, we can agree to disagree, or you could just say, "Yo, I'm done. This date is over. I don't even want to take you on a date no more. It's a wrap." Because you have that choice. But most people, if they're looking for something out the deal, if they think you can get something out the deal, or there's an expectation, it's gonna keep going with the flow. Stay in the room. He said, "What?" He said, "Stay in the room you didn't furnish yet." What that mean? I don't understand what that means.
Who said that?
That's what Deacon says. Stay in the room you didn't furnish yet. Okay, I got it.
I think I know what he's trying to say. Yeah, nah, I ain't that
Yeah.
situation.
I mean, I just think that it's important to understand that there are people that have expectations, and some of them expectations are unrealistic to you, and but not to them. Right. And some people are able to ask questions that we believe is diabolical, as stated by Deacon. And some of us believe that we can ask any question that we want, whether you agree with it or not. Oftentimes you hear people say, "Do you believe they asked that question? You believe this person said what they said?" Yeah, they said it because that's what they wanted to do. We have these thought process where we believe that you're supposed to know what it is that you can say and cannot say, right? And then we talk about upbringing and having a father in the home versus not having a father in the home, or having a mother in the home versus not having a mother in the home, and what was learned and what wasn't learned, right? But the reality is everyone's entitled to an opinion, a thought process, a wording, a questioning, and however they feel and whatever moment that they're in. So I say that you may not like the question that's being asked, but everyone has a right to ask whatever question that they like. That's it. That's it, and that's all. And that's what you talk about. That's how you determine the real from the fake. I'm gonna ask whatever question I want, whether you like it or not. I'm a land. I'm gonna say what I need to say.
Don't be asking that shit. You have a whole
Right.
question.
So, and in closing, we say that yes, there are some people that have unrealistic expectations, right? There are some people that believe that men should pay for everything, including a conversation, right? There are some women that believe that, I ain't even got to say it because it's going to be done because I'm her, right? Right. And there are some who just don't have high self-esteem and they just feel like they have to do more to get what they want. Right. But at the end of the day, everyone do what works for them. Right. If a woman says to you, "Pay for my time," and you know you ain't got it and you don't rock like that, then you can exit stage left.
Even
Right.
if I got it, I'm not doing it.
But that's you. But if a woman
Yeah,
says you
no, I
got to
just want to
pay
be
for my
clear about
time
it.
and you got it like that and you choose that's what you want to do, then that's what you do. That's your choice. Everyone, the bottom line is this: everyone has a choice for whatever circumstances that they're in, and whatever decision that you make, whether you choose to deal with it or not, is on you. You control your destiny, you control your happiness, and you control where you go in this life. No one else. Right. So
Yeah.
that means that you should live, love, and laugh and enjoy life, and not allow anyone to dictate what your movement should be and how you should be. So if you want to tell somebody, "Yo, it costs 2 racks to have a conversation with me," it costs 1 rack to get my phone number, and you got to pay for my babysitter, then that's your prerogative. You say what you want to say. And if the man is like, "No doubt," then you go with the flow. But also understand that if you get the reaction that you're getting over here with Shy, the guard, then that's just what it is. And you should be able to say, "All right, good night. I'm good. It was nice seeing you. Whatever. I'm on to you."
Yeah.
Right?
No part in my back.
Because it's hard out here. It's hard out here. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Let's unpack that 27. This is our third episode, right? Real versus fake. We will be back. So we're thinking about changing the day to Thursday, but you guys could I want you guys to let us know what you think. Right. If you want to send me a DM, let's unpack that 27 Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And
Yeah.
holla at your girl. We be back next week. I'm gonna post a flyer on what day it is because we gotta kind of brainstorm as the day, what day is appropriate. Because Friday, it seems like y'all be outside. Y'all don't even be on live on Friday night. But, maybe Thursday night while you getting ready for work the next day, y'all could kind of tune in and let's unpack some real conversation. But until then, you guys have a blessed week. Be happy, love, live, and laugh because that's what it's all about. Peace.
Peace.